Hi everyone, Molly here from LearnPedia. Today we have another fantastic trainee of ours who's shown amazing performance and progress throughout our traineeship program, Divya. And we are going to have a chat with her to get to know about her technical skills, her upskilling journey in the residential design and drafting field based on Australian standards and codes. So whether you're an employer looking for someone who's ready to hit the ground running, or you're just curious about our training programs, this video is definitely for you. Divya, it's great to have you here today. Let's start with the first question. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Divya?
First of all, thank you, Molly, for this opportunity. And hi, everyone. My name is Divya. I come from a background of structural engineering and construction management, and I have a master's in both this degree. And currently, I have completed my traineeship with NZ Engineers and LearnPedia, where I have worked and designed two real-life timber construction projects from start to end using softwares like Structure Toolkit, SpaceGass, and AutoCAD. And projects are done as per Australian standards and codes such as AS1720, AS1170 series, AS1684 series, AS2870, and others.
Okay. All right. So you ran us through a brief about yourself. Now it's time to go through some technical questions. So the first question I've got listed here is that when you're working on a timber frame project, let's say a single-story dwelling, can you walk me through the whole design journey? Where do you usually start? And after each step, what comes next? So I just want a holistic brief, if you like. Yeah.
To give an outline of it, first and foremost, I start collecting the required documents such as architecture drawings, soil report, site reports, and so on. Once I have all these documents, I go deep into the architecture drawing, where I'll be checking on factors like whether there is a building nearby, whether location of easement to check the angle of repose for the foundation, and then I check on whether we have any trees on the side or nearby. Then I go for identifying the external wall type for designing the lintels. Then I go for checking the roof types and details of the roof, such as its cladding and what type of the roof it is. And once I have that, I'll check on the architecture drawing for porch area. And if I have porch area, I go for checking what type of supports are there in the porch area. So once all these checklists are done, I start creating the structural layout, showing the frame system and roof system. And once I have the structural layout, I start working on the loading as per the Australian standards and codes such as AS1170.1 and AS1170.2, the loads such as live load, death load, and wind load, and its combinations. And once I have the loads and combinations, I start with analyzing the structural member. For the analyzing, I will be using software such as Structure Toolkit, SpaceGass, where I will be analyzing this member for the strength and serviceability criteria mentioned in the code. Once the analysis is done, I go into the designing part, where I will be designing the member and selecting the member as per this strength and serviceability criteria. Begin with the roof design, then I go for the framing design, such as lintels. Then I move on to the connection details. And once the connection details done, I go on to the bracing system. And once the bracing system is designed and drafted, I move on to the footing system for design.
Fantastic. Perfect. Thanks for the thorough answer, Divya. Now onto the second technical question. How do you connect a timber post to the footing system in a residential project? So let's say you've got a slab-on-ground system. Are there any common commercial products for you to use or specify for this type of connection? And where do you usually specify that in your design?
So in a timber construction, there are many commercially available products for connecting the post and the foundation. The main aim for the connectors are to provide structural stability for the timber post against lateral forces and uplift forces, and also to elevate the timber post from the ground level to protect it against moisture and decay. So some of the common products that are available over here are Pryda, MyTech, in which Pryda products are very commonly used. And some of the Pryda products that are available in the market are bolt-down post anchor, which are used for connecting the post to the footing. And then we have full stirrup post anchors. And then we have center fixed anchor, which has a much better finish and it's good for exposed textures. And the details about these products are provided in the Pryda post anchor guide for reference. And for the structural drawing, I'll be specifying them in the connection details.
Perfect. Let's move on to the third question. When you're designing a lintel in a single brick wall, what's your design and thought process? Can you walk me through how do you go about it step by step?
Yep. When you're designing lintels in a single brick wall, the main aim is to support the wall load above the opening, and also to make sure that the lintel fits within the wall thickness. There are three main factors that to be considered before designing that lintel. First one is wall thickness. For a standard brick, the size is 230 by 110 by 76 mm. So for a single brick wall, the wall thickness will be 110 mm. So when you're designing a lintel for single brick wall, we have to make sure it fits within this 110 mm. And the second one is mortar thickness. So for a brick wall, the mortar thickness is 10 mm. And when you're designing a lintel, the end part of the lintel goes into the brickwork. So we have to make sure the thickness of the lintel is not more than the mortar thickness, for which the limit is 12 mm. And the third one is the wall height above the opening. So it's just simply when you're designing a lintel, we have to make sure it fits in the available space above the opening. And by considering all these three factors, we design lintels in a step-by-step process. For example, we start with equal angles. The equal angle members that are available in the market start from 90 by 90 by 6 mm to 100 by 100 by 12 mm. We do have a member which is 125 by 125 by 8 mm, but we are not selecting that because the 125 mm is more than the wall thickness. And if the equal angle does not work, we go for the unequal angles. So unequal angle members start from the size 150 by 90 by 8 mm to 150 by 100 by 12 mm. And in the unequal angle also, we have a member which is 150 by 90 by 16 mm. And this 16 mm can be selected because of the mortar thickness. And if both of these did not work, we go for the PFC sections. And we have PFC members starting from 150 by 75 mm to 300 by 90 mm. And while considering the PFC member, we have to make sure it fits within space available about the opening.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Divya, for such a detailed answer. Now, on to the last question, which is a question about your career goals. What's your career goal, Divya? Where do you see your career path? And what are the ideal positions that you're looking for? And how do you see yourself adding value to the team you'll be joining?
Currently, I'm looking for an opportunity as a structural engineer where I can apply the skills and technical knowledge that I attained from this traineeship and from my background education. From this traineeship, I have strong foundation in the Australian standards and codes, and I am well aware of the common materials used and common construction practices held in here. So genuinely, I'm looking for to be a part of Dream, where I could contribute my skills and knowledge, and also to develop more practical skills and being in a good team.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Divya, for sharing your experience with us. Now, if you're a hiring manager or a potential employer out there and you're looking for a job-ready professional who's ready to hit the ground running, like Divya, feel free to reach out to her. Thanks, Divya.
Thank you, Molly.